So our next talk is delivered by Xaris Gounaropoulos, Konstantinos Tiligadis, and Nikolaos Grigorios Kanelopoulos. Name is Hyperspace Game, Exploring the Fourth Spatial Dimension Perception. So, Mr. Gounaropoulos,
I'm ready.
the floor is yours.
Thank you so much.
15 minutes, and I will probably tell you around 2 minutes, wrap it up.
I want to ask you, there is internet connection, so I have to play a link. I can play a link.
I think there is internet connection. Is there? Or maybe we find out.
We will try. We will try and find
in real
out.
time. We'll see. It's an adventure.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Xaris Gounaropoulos. I'm a PhD candidate at the Department of Audio and Visual Arts in Union University. My supervisor is Professor Emeritus Nikolaos Kanelopoulos, and I am delighted to present you our paper entitled Hyperspace Serious Game, Exploring the Fourth Spatial Dimension Perception. So, this is the Hyperspace game, the front page. The application is organized into 4 distinct stages, supporting the gradual development of an intuitive understanding of the 4 spatial dimension. It is carefully designed to guide the player progressively from a theoretical introduction, step 1, to active exploration of 3D space, step 2, and 4D space, step 3. And finally, to the completion of a questionnaire, step 4, the aim of which is to evaluate the player's understanding. In the first stage, the player is guided by a pre-recorded video assistant that introduces the game's purpose, theoretical background, and basic controls. Let's take a look at the game and copy. Yes. Work. So this is the front page, and by pushing the first button, we can see the theory explained by this pre-recorded video, and this is the text for someone who wants to read more and more carefully. So back to the home page, and back to the slides. Next. Something about the theory that it is explained in the game, step 1, stage 1. Although we are familiar with the 3 spatial dimensions, X, Y, Z, we cannot see depth, but we perceive it. Why is this happening? Let me explain. Our eyes function as a camera and cannot see depth. Photons enter the lens of our eyes and activate retinal cells that convert the 2D image into electrical signals, which are then sent to our brain visual cortex at a rate around 12 to 16 frames per second for each eye. Then, through a series of cognitive processes, our brain constructs the idealized 3D model of the world in front of us. So we don't actually see the 3rd dimension, we perceive it. To understand what a 4-dimensional look like, we choose the hypercube, for example, and follow the method illustrated in the upcoming animation. As you can see, we start with a dot, and then we move, so we make the first dimension, then we move downwards and we make a square, then the square we move to the depth, so we make a cube, and if we move the cube perpendicular to its surface, we make the hypercube or the tesseract as well known. We cannot see it, but we can design in a way that we can perceive it. Scientists attempt to perceive 4-dimensional shapes, such as a hypercube and hypersphere, through 3 main methods. Projection into 3D space, like a shadow, the first picture on the right, slicing through 3D space, second picture, cross-section, and unfolding into 3D space, the word depiction on the bottom. In 1954, Salvador Dalí experimented with the idea of four spatial dimensions in his artwork, Corpus Hypercubus, using the unfolding technique. The concept of hyperspace, spaces with four or more dimensions, has fascinated both scientists and artists for many years. So, how can we perceive the hypersphere? We use the slicing method. Imagine the hypersphere passing through our 3D space. We would perceive it as an emerging from a zero-dimensional point, expanding as a sphere, reaching its maximum size, and then shrinking back to a point and disappearing. This is the cross-section of a hypersphere with our familiar 3D world. To better understand the behavior of the dimensions, we employ the RGB color coding proposed by Professor Xaris Gounaropoulos. The three spatial axes, X, Y, Z, are mapped to red, green, and blue, RGB, and it is shown on Figure 1, the 3D sphere. The fourth dimension is mapped to white, and it is shown on Figure 2. So, this is the hypersphere where, when it enters in our 3D world, it expands and then it shrinks. From a point, it expands and then it shrinks. Notice that it changes colors with the color coding code. So, the greater the absolute value along each axis, the stronger the corresponding color intensity. In this way, we construct a color-coded hypersphere where each point is defined by its position across 4 dimensions. So, the stage 2 of the game includes 2 models, exploration mode and quest mode. Player can freely interact with the environment before moving to a goal-based challenges. Let's take a look again to the game. So, we briefly explained the first button, what's theory. Now, the second stage, the second button, we enter from 3D world to 2D world. A small menu is appeared. Here is a tutorial video that you can see how someone can play. And then we start the game if we want to play the game. This is the game. These are the tools that we use for, and the axis, these are the sliders for the rotation of the axis, and these are the tools that we use for playing freely the game. If we want to go to the goal-based scenario, then we push the start quest, and there are 3 quests you have someone have to accomplish. Here is the quest, and then you play with purpose now to make a score, and watch the progression bar, a percentage of which, if you reach the top, then you accomplish the aim, the quest. There are 3 quests in stage 3. In stage 2, there are 3 quests on stage 3. The familiar buttons, home buttons, information and reset buttons, for someone who wants to learn or move through the application. Okay, back to the slides. Back to the slides. Then, in stage 3, the hypersphere intersects with a 3-dimensional space, introducing a less familiar and more challenging spatial scenario. The interface follows the same structural logic as in stage 2. providing user with the option to watch a tutorial video that explains navigation and the use of interaction controls specific to this environment. Let's again take a look at the game. Stage 3, enter the 4D world to 3D world, and then we push start the game. Also the quest, that quest. So, nothing is on 3D world because Hypersphere lives in 4D world. So, if we begin the cross section like this, yes, then we can see the hypersphere that expands on our 3D world. This is the entering of the hypersphere, and we choose the axis of which will enter. You can see that there are 4 axes now, everyone perpendicular to each other. So the one we can see, the 3 familiar axes, and the other that we cannot see. The other that we cannot see is the color that is mixed with other. You can see if I go with the white axis, white, yes. The absolute value of the colors are, sorry, why this happened? The absolute value of the colors of the axis from smooth to harder goes from smooth to harder. So they combine all the colors, and this is the outcome. We can rotate to see the coloring, and the menu is pretty much the same as on stage 2. So back to the homepage, back to the slides. We move on. Stage 4, consistent questionnaire. A mixed format questionnaire of 27 questions is used to evaluate participant understanding of higher dimension concepts. So we want the player to answer this question in order to understand how much, how he understood or she understood the application or the concept for the space. Here is the questionnaire. Sorry. After completing a questionnaire, participants are invited to provide optional feedback for the improvements of our game through additional 7 questions. This feedback is essential for improving the game and guiding future research. Let's now take a look at some preliminary results. It is obviously understood that the Hyperspace game supports intuitive understanding through dynamic visual interaction rather than through theoretical explanation. This is a small research from the answer of the questionnaire, and the data that we gather, we made the statistics. So these are the results. Yes, of course. Players with stronger conceptual performance identified the slice-through visualization of the hypersphere as the most helpful feature for understanding its behavior in 3-dimensional space. The majority of users reported improved understanding. The 95% expressed a positive attitude towards the game as an educational tool. Although this serious game is not primarily designed for entertainment, it serves a foundation for more engaging experiences. Imagine 3D, for example, imagine a 3D ping-pong game, or even a 4D version, where the ball suddenly disappears from our space and reappears elsewhere, arriving from any direction at any possible angle. Now imagine extending this concept further by introducing quantum-like properties to the 4D hypersphere. So we encourage you to envision the wide range of application that could emerge from this four-dimensional concept. I would like to thank you. That was my game. Thank you. If you want.
Thank you, Mr. Gounaropoulos. Any questions, please? Over there, please.
Yes, please. Okay, I listen.
It needs some time, I think.
One, two,
Okay.
yeah. Great job and very difficult field. Very difficult field. One question is about the length of the questionnaire. It was 27 questions.
Yes.
Is it a custom questionnaire or is it a validated one? Did you write it?
Yes, I write it. It's one specific to the goal and all the questions were based on the theory that it was explained. But also there are some questions that makes you wonder, what if I live in a 4D space, what I could feel, what I could perceive, how things could be if I live in an extra dimension. So there are some intuitive based questions, but few, just to push the imagination for further, in order to think how would the world with an extra dimension.
Okay, and how long did it take for a participant to answer the 27 questions? Did you measure?
Mm-hmm. The time varies because
I mean, there are many questions.
Yes. The gameplay, it is about half an hour or 45 minutes.
Did they play and at the end they answered the question?
This is the aim. The steps have to follow very carefully. You have to watch, attend, try to understand the theory, and then you have to play in stage 2 or stage 3 to have the experience, and then you answer the question. And from the question, there are some results that we can talk about. So players that played this game about half an hour, they had very well results. They had high scores, because they experienced the game. They tried to perceive the new idea, and they worked on this. It is a serious game. I know it is not for fun, but it is for educational purposes.
Yes. Usually, when we are talking about user evaluation, you have to use short questionnaires.
Maybe yes.
No longer than 10 questions. And
So,
there are some statistics you can do after that to see if the questions were correctly defined, and because you can make a question of your own and it's completely, nobody will understand what you ask. And there is noise in the results. You get noise, you don't get good statistics in the end. Yeah.
I can understand what you say, but I didn't have a lot of experience on this.
Okay.
So it is a more personal approach to this. So yes, maybe I made the players be
Tired?
tired. Yes, sorry, tired.
Fatigue. Yeah.
But Okay, it
Oh,
was a part
it's a
of
first
the
stage.
results.
Okay, maybe you can prove it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Something else?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gounaropoulos. And that's also the good thing about conferences, is that we meet, we talk, we exchange ideas, and we get feedback, and our projects become better and more inclusive and more precise.